All right. Today's guest we have on is Jimmy Niggles. Jimmy is the face, the beard CEO, and everything man behind BeardSeason, which is a movement aimed at raising awareness and encouraging action on getting your skin checked and making melanoma history. Personally came across BeardSeason around 2 years ago, I think it was, after having pretty nasty SCC removed from my lip, and scrolling through social media trying to figure out how I could get my beard back after the surgery when they made me shave it off and get it back in a way that could cover up the pretty nasty scar that I had at the time. And yeah, just I joined the party myself and became a bit of an ambassador over the last couple of years, sort of sharing the message. And I reached out to Jimmy because I know the mission obviously is an important one and something we shouldn't forget about during this time. And plus, I just thought that Jimmy's story was going to add some huge value to the group during this time. So welcome, Jimmy, and thanks for jumping on.
G'day, Joshy. Thank you. Lovely to be here.
And tell us about BeardSeason. Tell us how it came about, and what has it led to becoming what it is today.
Yeah, well, first up, your beard is looking rather lovely. 1 month and a bit down. You're getting there, mate. Hopefully we can finish strong. My beard is 10 years old now, and it's been around since we started this thing called BeardSeason, which technically is winter. And as you can see, I pushed through since my first winter, and it's just been non-stop ever since. But it all kind of started after we lost one of our best mates, whose name's Wes Bonnie. And he had a sus-looking spot on his neck that he didn't realise was bad until it was tragically too late. And he got taken down by melanoma at the age of 26, which was a pretty horrible experience for him and his family and all of us. And we just had no idea that it could happen to someone so young. And anyway, at his wake and funeral and stuff, we were all kind of catching up, and we're in this country pub in middle of New South Wales where he grew up. And we did a bit of Googling and found that melanoma is actually the biggest cancer killer of young people in Australia. Our death rates are 12 times more than anywhere else in the world. And 69% of those deaths are blokes, probably because we think we're bomb-proof and we never go to a doctor for anything, let alone a sus-looking spot. And we thought we should probably try and do something. And after a bit more research, we found Australia was leading the world in research and treatment and stuff like that. But for some reason, we looked at early detection and no one was pushing people in to get a skin check. And as some of you might know, this was a surprise to us as well, but melanoma is one of the most successful to treat cancers if it's found early. So if you get onto it quickly, I think your chance of survival are up near 100%. And like you found, Joshy, with your lip, like what was growing there could have turned nasty, pretty quickly without, if you had no idea what it was. And I can kind of see it now, but or kind of can't see it now. But it's you can make a pretty swift recovery. So yeah, we decided to focus on early detection and BeardSeason. This idea was to grow our beards for winter, and by targeting guys, they're the most at risk. So we're turning them into our biggest advocates. And the idea was you grow your beard for winter, get a skin check, and then use your beard to challenge as many people as you can to get a check as well. And I hear you've started a few conversations with your beard, Joshy. Does it work?
Yeah, mate. As I was saying, it's I've had a lot of people say that they've been prompted to go get skin checks, and there has been a couple of stories. One in particular who did find a melanoma in the very early stages, just based off a social media post that I did I think it was either last winter or the winter before. They went and got it checked out, and they picked it up really early and managed to remove it and had a full recovery. So yeah, it definitely happens, and it works. And early detection is the key. So the cause is great, and it can do huge amounts of good for people. With something really simple as getting a check.
Good.
And mates, we've all been, going through this crazy world of COVID over the last sort of 4 months, and isolation and all those sorts of bits and pieces. All right, really quick pause there for yet another yogurt emergency. But I was saying, mates, the last few months pretty challenging, for everybody, and obviously working from home and homeschool and everything that everyone's gone through. How's the last 4 months been for you personally? How have you sort of coped through this period of time?
It's pretty wild oceans out there at the moment for everyone, and I think it's one of the biggest things, I suppose, is uncertainty, and it's hard for people to plan and invest and do anything in the future. So everyone's kind of it's a massive reset for everyone, and kind of been a good pause on what's on the now, I think. And as a charity, we've kind of it's really tricky for us because, like, as you guys know, in the travel industry, discretionary spending's gone down a lot, unless it's kind of online shopping and all that kind of stuff, and Netflix and things. But it's hard for us to rely on donations as much. But surprisingly, the start of winter this year has been one of the biggest yet. Like, we've raised over enough to do at least 400 pop-up skin checks. So as part of our charity, we do free pop-up screenings around the country, and that's kind of where the money, or most of the money, goes towards. So that it's been surprisingly good, and I think a lot of people are actually saving money because they're not having to travel into work every day, and their spending patterns are changing. So it has been surprising to have that amount of donations coming in, and I suppose from the travel industry, people must be itching to go and go on holiday and get out of their little box where they've been locked in for the last 3 or 4 months. So it's been interesting to navigate these times, but I've found it really, really enjoyable. I'm a bit of an introverted extrovert, and I've spent a lot of time redesigning our website. If you have a look around there's plenty of we've been putting plenty of work into that and helping people get on board and work out what melanoma is all about, and what our purpose is and what we've been doing. So kind of a bit of a spring clean internally of all our processes and the platform and all that kind of stuff, and just refocusing on our community as well, and trying to engage, like doing stuff like this, Joshy. Like, it's just been good to be able to reconnect with everyone and keep in touch and get a little bit closer as well. So I think it's been a really challenging, but hopefully, if you look at it the right way, it can be a very productive time. But yeah, just got to change angles a little bit and refocus a few things. That's all.
And with the pop-up skin checks, mate, has that been something that's been hindered a little bit, like in the early days of all of the lockdowns and so forth? Is that something you had to pause for a little bit, or what happened with that?
Yeah, well, we were on a really massive trajectory at the end of last year, and we locked in our first big corporate partner, Justin Hems and Marybelle. They own 90 different venues around Sydney and kind of Greater New South Wales, and we did a series of pop-up skin check clinics at some of his big coastal venues. So we did the Newport Hotel, the Collaroy, and the Coogee Pavilion. And it was just amazing. We did 1,000 skin checks in 11 days, and we had these little beach huts set up and 2 specialists working non-stop, and they were just incredible. And it got to the point where in the last few days we had over 150 people waiting in line to come and get checked, which was just amazing. And there's no way we should be able to do anything like that at the moment. But it was just a really big test for us. And out of 1,000 people, we found 608 suspect lesions. So it was just crazy the amount of people who found something because of it. But yeah, now that we've done that, I think we'll just be waiting out on what happens with regulations, and hopefully be able to get out around the country and team up with events and be able to put on these clinics again.
Absolutely. And I guess, mate, one of the reasons why I asked you to come on today and sort of share that message of getting a skin check and the importance of it. And I think even more so this year for me, and some of the things that I've been thinking around sort of the concerns of this period of time is that, people may be putting off those regular checkups and health measures in general, due to lockdown, social distancing. Have we seen that this has had a bit of an effect on people getting checks and picking up sus spots? Have you seen any sort of evidence or stats or anything come out of this period of time saying that, there's been an increase or this has actually affected, the cause and the direction that you were going in?
I don't know any stats about it at the moment, but I suppose what's happened is traditionally we focus on winter because it's the best time of year to get checked. You've just gone through summer. It's been a couple of months. And the doctor can find stuff easier and treat stuff more successfully in winter. So that's why we focus on winter. But I suppose after March, everyone was locked inside for a month or so and unable to go to their doctor or, see a specialist for anything. And I think a lot of services moved to tele or digital or online. Lots of video conference things and being able to call up a specialist, I think, has opened up. And we're about to launch a telederm facility, but it's a bit trickier with looking at a spot. You really need proper equipment and stuff like that. But I know that a lot of people have been using, for their mental health, they've been able to call or do a one-on-one like this. I think that's a really important thing. And a lot of fitness and, physical stuff has gone online as well. And a heap of people have been doing their exercises and stuff with groups and stuff like that. And with their mates, a heap of my buddies did the push-up challenge thing. And a few of my mates have been doing meditation courses, and even through Instagram, people have been doing live kind of breathing techniques and stuff like that. And even just being at home and cooking for yourself, I think, is a lot more healthy than, the alternative a lot of the time. And, spending time in your garden and, I think it's been challenging, but hopefully good for a lot of people. But now that we are kind of allowed out, if you're not in Melbourne, that might not be the case. But I think definitely go out and see your doctor just for a general check. But as I said, winter's the best time to get a skin check. So if you can, it's a great excuse to get outside and get out there and see your doctor if you can and get it done. That's what I can recommend.
Absolutely. And look, most of the people in the group or everyone in the group would say that they're a passionate traveller. They get out and about, see the world as much as possible, probably spending plenty of time in the sun, drinking cocktails by the pool in fancy resorts and experiencing all sorts of weird and wonderful places, but generally outdoors and in the sun. What's some advice from your perspective? And what should people be looking for? How often should they be getting checked? And what's the benefit of sort of focusing on that side of your health?
Well, we love our sunburn country. And I think travel in general is, you want to spend time in the sun or outside, out and about. What advice? I'd say definitely get a great hat. I've got a massive hat collection. And I can get a good hat. Kuba is one of our fine Aussie exports, and it's Indigenous language for head covering. And there's tons of varieties that you can pick from there. But yeah, just get a damn good hat and wear it in. The more you wear it, the better it gets. So I can highly recommend a good hat. And in winter, you can kind of grow a beard. I suppose it doesn't cover up too much, but it's nice and warm. And I suppose, really importantly, keep an eye on your skin. I've got a little thing to show you here. So if you head to our website, you can learn a little bit more about melanoma or skin cancer and what it looks like. But we've got these kind of warning signs. They're like an A, B, C, D, E thing. And if you buy anything from us or whatever, sign up with us. We'll send you one of these. They're really handy. But it's like the 5 kind of key signs of what stuff looks like. So asymmetry, border, color, diameter, and evolution. And there's a bit more you can kind of read about it. Or you can get our brand new stubby holders, which have it on the outside of the stubby holder. So when you're having a frosty with this thing, you can talk about it with your mates. So that's a good thing to learn. So you can read more about that on our website. And I suppose with your partner, you can look for spots on their back that they might not be able to see, and just have a good idea of where you've got moles and things, and keep an eye out for stuff that changes. You might have noticed with your thing on your lip, Josh, that it might have gotten itchy, or it might have changed shape, or it might have gotten raised or bleeding and stuff like that. Like those kind of signs you can really feel. Like I think you kind of just pay attention to your body and what's happening. And if you do know where things are on you, you can keep an eye on them more. Which is why visiting a specialist is really important, because you can sit down with them for 15 minutes. They'll teach you what to look out for and what's dangerous, what's not, and then you can keep an eye on those things in the future years. And it's good with your kids and family and friends and stuff as well. So
yeah, and taking photos as well of anything that doesn't look that dodgy, or that's at the moment it kind of looks okay. Taking a photo of it and then maybe revisiting that at a later stage. I know that that's something that a lot of people do lately. Does that help? And is that something you encourage?
100%. That's really good. Like I think everyone can download this, but we use a platform called Derm Engine, and I think you can basically download it and sign up. But everyone that gets a skin check with us uses the same platform, and it lets you map the spots on your body on like a 3D body, so you can zoom in and place it on your arm, so that's where it is, and you can write notes and keep tabs on what changes. And you can also bring that profile to your doctor and they can update it and stuff like that. So tools like that are really, really valuable.
Yeah, just being on top of it and noticing those spots and getting someone to check those spots and yeah, as you said, listening to your body. I was the same with my lip. It just became raised. I was like, hang on a minute, that doesn't seem right. And then someone who's been getting, regular skin checks, pretty much my whole adult life, I kind of felt, that this one was just a little bit different. There was something wrong about this one, and I got to go get it checked. And it was a 2-week period from when I first noticed it to going. And I was just expecting probably another burn off, like I've had previously, or a BCC or something that wasn't too drastic. And I eventually had to get when they did the biopsy, they actually had to put a stitch in because it was in the lip, which created a bit of bleeding. And they're like, oh, we better just stitch that up. We better just put one stitch in just to make sure that, the bleeding stops. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I had to go back 3 days later to get the stitch out, whereas normally they just call you with the results or whatnot. And yeah, I got the news that, it was something that was a little bit more serious, and I was going to have a, big wedge cut out of my lip all the way down to the bottom. And, I had to go to a plastic surgeon to get it done. And if we don't get it all, if it's gone further than your lip, then we need to possibly start chemo and all of these conversations that, were just never in my mindset that I was going to be having. It was just, I was like, sorry, doc, I'm not sure what you're on about here. I just come to get my stitch out. I'm not sure what you're talking about with all of this
Yeah.
stuff. Can you just get the stitch out of it, and then I'll just go back to my normal life. So it was interesting, and yeah, within the space of 2 weeks, noticing my body change slightly, and that there's something that was there that shouldn't, be there. I think was just key, just to understand that and listen to it, and then act on it really quickly, because it's challenging, but benefit, in the end of picking it up as early as we did. So
Good on you.
Mate, beard season's obviously, for me, I've been following for a couple of years. It's you guys have been doing an amazing job, ever since you started, and I'm sure you've affected a lot of people. But I've noticed that you guys have got a lot of sort of famous ambassadors that have sort of jumped on board or joined the party over the recent years. Can you let us know who those guys are and how it sort of came about?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we got a really famous bloke on board called Josh Thorpe. Runs a great company called Travel Partners. I heard a lot about them, and I was stoked to get him on board. So that was a big win for us. But I don't know, someone else in the travel space. We went and visited Richard Branson a couple of years ago at Necker Island, and he actually, the first thing he said when I saw him there was, mate, thanks for introducing yourself to me. When I was in Sydney last, I found a couple of things on my shoulder that I had no idea about, and if you hadn't have bailed me up that time, I wouldn't have done it. So he is a good supporter, and we did a massive leadership course over there, which was just phenomenal. All about scale and focus and how you do what you do, which was really interesting. So definitely recommend reading his books and stuff, and he's been a very good influence. And yeah, we've also, last year, I think we had Chris Hemsworth do a big kind of shout out for us, and that he shaved his director's beard during a film that just got released a couple of weeks ago called Extraction. And that was a massive win for us. Like, he's got so many people following him, and he did this post for us, and we literally had hundreds and thousands of people writing, "Thanks, I got a skin check. It might have saved my life." Blah blah. Like, it was just so good. And then locally we've got Hamish Blake kind of on board. He found something. When was it? A while ago, maybe on his lip or nose or something as well. And he's been a good supporter, and it's been building, and I just, like, we've got some really great people on board now, and I think they kind of get it, which is really exciting. But yeah, for the next 2 months of winter, I'm going to go hard. So then there's still time to sign up. So if you want to jump on board, just visit BeardSeason.com, and you can sign up as an ambassador. You can start a team. It's a great thing to do in isolation. You don't have to shave. And you can grow your beard, or if you're of the fairer sex, you can support those growing a beard, and you can be a beard season gardener and tend to the facial follicles of your friends and family. So definitely still time to get involved, and I think we still have a few of these stubby holders to give away too, if you want to make a donation. And it's going good.
And there's something else in your hand there that you keep grabbing. Is that is that the oil?
That was a USB, but I do have my oil handy.
Tell us about that.
To help with your growth, we've teamed up with this amazing beard oil maker in the UK, and this is the Jimmy Niggles $1 million beard oil. So and it's got gold flakes in it. The only beard oil with gold flakes, and it will make your beard feel like $1 million.
Speaking of $1 million beards, mate, any offers?
Yeah, so this is 10 years old now, this thing, and I've basically kept it just as a in my face reminder to keep the idea alive. And I find that, like, if you have an idea or a concept or something you want to go after, it really helps to not only kind of verbalize it and, you know, tell people so they can keep you accountable, but have something staring at your face in all the time to keep you going and keep you working towards that goal. And for me, it was to grow this on my face, and I kept it after my first winter, and it's been 10 years now, and I've kind of put myself in the corner a couple of years ago saying that I won't shave it until we raise $1 million. And so far, we're nearly halfway there since we started the charity. And that translates into 10,000 skin checks. So our goal is to do 10,000 free educational skin checks through our pop-up clinics, and raise enough evidence to support a federally funded ongoing skin check program. So we're kind of halfway there now, and we've got some really good kind of partners and corporates interested now. So obviously things have changed a little bit this year, but I think we're just going to keep pushing hard.
It's great,
get
mate.
it done.
It's a great cause, and you know, you're helping a lot of people, and yeah, something so small can impact so many people's lives, mate. So well done, and keep up the good work. And we'll drop all the links into the post that people can go and have a look and explore on the website what you guys are up to, how they can go donate, be a part of it, contribute, or even just, you know, download that little card that you've got that might help them, you know, have a look at some of their sus spots on their bodies already, and hopefully, and you know, we'll make sure that everybody who's watching goes off and gets a skin check, you know, gets out there, sees the doctor. You know, it doesn't take long. You know, it can definitely save your life. It's a really important thing to do. So again, mate, thanks for your time for jumping on and you know, sharing your story, and hopefully you watching to get a skin check and you know, just through them.
Nice one, Joshy. Thanks so much, mate. It's an honour, and I'm glad I've played a little role in your lives, and hopefully we can help a lot more people. So yeah, if you do get checked, definitely let us know how you go, and encourage your friends and family to do the same. That'd be great.
Awesome, mate. Good luck with the rest of winter, and we'll talk to you soon.
Beauty.
Cheers,
Hear
mate.
it.
Thanks.